how it all works. So there we go. We're up on YouTube, and we're transferring to the right one. Maybe that will work out. But what happened, Sky, was I told you before that one of our boards, our main board, had gotten glitchy. It did not want to turn on or turn off. Well, it would turn off. It just didn't want to turn on. And it has one of those little flush mount buttons, with you can barely touch it, and it goes click, click inside. You can't just have like the light switch button, the toggle button like you used to in the old days, like click, it's on. That's what they put in the, when we supposedly went to the moon. It's all the toggles. Click on. So-and-so's on. So-and-so's on. We're a team on a stand trailer. No, you can't have that. You got to have this little flimsy, rubbery covered flush mount button that you barely know it clicks on. Well, it had decided to quit working probably 3 or 4, 5, maybe 6 months ago. So I did the smart thing, which was just leave the board on 24 hours a day, which is fine until the storms come and knock the power out.
Grandma always said, turn off the television and all the electronics.
Yes, that's what. And because Grandma didn't need the board to be on the next morning. And this is one of those things. Now, my Macintosh computer turns back on when the power comes on because it sees the power and says, hey, let's turn back on. The Rody board says, let's stay off. So I get here this morning, turn everything on, and it will not turn on. And historically, you can mash the button, mash the button, mash the button, mash the button, hold the button, mash the button, hold the button, tap it, hold the button, mash the button, mash the button, hold the button, and eventually it'll come on. Today, it did not.
This is a Roadmaster 1 or 2?
2.
Okay, that's the same thing I had.
Yes,
it's 2. That's a good.
Oh, it's a super nice board. But our travel board, our board that we can go do remotes, our remote box is a Roadmaster 1 that has a button that goes click, 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 click.
I remember.
So I had to go at 8 minutes till 9 because I tried for 20-something minutes. On. I went and found the travel board, figured out which buttons were what, hooked up to YouTube using the Bluetooth connection from the board to my Mac, and now I'm using a Roadmaster 1, and the Roadmaster 2, which I love, is in Jared's office under the sticky note of will not come on.
Okay.
So
that's an easy fix, I think.
You think the on-off switch is an easy switch?
Well, I think it's as opposed to, hopefully that's the end of the
Who
problem.
fixes it? You got to send it back to Road?
I don't know. Maybe Jared, the wizard, can...
I'm probably the one most likely to be able to take it apart and fix it. But Jared's the one who can, put it in a box and send it back to Rody and say, fix the dadgum switch.
They're pretty good, too.
Because we don't
maybe think about improving that technology, that on-off feature for next time, for the 3.
Yeah, you know what I want to tell them? I'm like, look, just run a wire into that switch. Just bypass the switch altogether and give me a giant toggle like the size of what are those things called if they do the keg beer at the restaurant? The tap. I want a tap switch that I go over the wall and go, crank.
You gotta have 2 hands to pull it down, man.
Yeah, and you got to unlock it every morning for the power. I want to do that somewhere out in the studio. Clang,